So we're in the fall and winter is coming, and a lot of us are thinking our plants are dying naturally. Not always. What's happening is a lot of birds that were not here all through this spring, summer, and fall are returning now to winter in different areas. And guess what? They eat greens. Upon inspection of some of these videos I had done, and I made a short on how the white-crowned sparrows that have recently come back are eating my sunflowers, they were also eating my mint. So let's talk about this and see how we can save our plants. Hi, it's Robbie from Southern California, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about mint, but something that's unconventional, things that you probably haven't heard talked about. So let's talk about the mint that's growing here. This has all died back, but the other mint on the other side is perfectly good. As you probably can see here, all the mint is growing all over the ground, all inside the tote, all in that tote, and all in the other tote. This is chocolate mint. This is perfectly fine. It's doing great. I'm still making coffee out of it almost every morning. I'm using it every day in my coffee. I have 3 different ways I can use it, and I've got mint right alongside of me, and it's growing. I got mint in the front yard. I got mint growing everywhere. And I started thinking, wait a minute, why would this mint die back? It's getting obviously a lot of sun. We are in the 40s right now at night, and generally my mint grows all year. It just isn't so vigorous. I'll get a few leaves growing here and there, but it's not vining off or taking off and crawling all over the place. So I came out here and I decided to start watching it and analyzing it. Now, you know, I talked about my sunflower, remember? My beautiful sunflower that was so gorgeous suddenly had no leaves. The stems are here, but the leaves are gone. Well, you saw what happened. I showed you the video, and you saw in that video the white-crowned sparrows were eating all the leaves off. They eat a lot of greens. They'll eat squash leaves, lettuce leaves, greens that they like the taste of, and apparently they like sunflower seed from the sunflower leaves. And I thought, wait a minute. I went back and re-looked at the footage I did because I was trying to figure out what was eating my sunflower plant. And I looked closer. Lo and behold, after they ate this, a lot of them came in here and ate this. Some didn't even care about this. They were eating the mint. And I thought, well, see, if you look at the leaves, you'll see how beautiful and green some of them that are tucked underneath are. But the ones on top are completely chewed, yet the stems are still green and it's still trying to grow a little bit. So what has happened, and maybe this has happened to you, later on in the spring, the white-crowned sparrows leave here in Southern California. They go to another area to breed. Apparently, whatever they eat is not here for them to feed their babies. So they take off somewhere else, another direction, not to be seen until around September or October. During that time, my mint and everything is fine. The only thing eating the green leaves that are also eating leaves are goldfinches, and sometimes your house finches eat it too. But the mint was something I didn't know about, and you birds might nibble at it, but I didn't know that this is such a big thing to them that they come here in the morning and they eat. So when they come back, they start eating all the greens that they eat because they eat seeds as well. And this is what they ended up finding they like. Now, it's not all mint. For the white crowns that are here, they're only eating the orange mint. This here that's growing in this tote, and by the way, this tote's like 9 years old, and this flower pot, different plants, they're eating both of these only. This is orange mint. The other mint I have growing around here is peppermint, chocolate mint, and spearmint. I had strawberry mint, but it died. That really did die, but nothing ate that. So I wouldn't even eat it. It was that bad. It doesn't bother me that it's gone. But this has been amazing because the only thing I use the orange mint for is if I'm making salad or in my green drinks. That's when or eggs, I will use the orange mint. I don't really drink it. If I want to drink mint, I drink chocolate mint. Sometimes Gary drinks spearmint. So it turned out that's what's going on. Now, this is why I'm coming forward to you with my teeny mic. I don't do well with mics on me. So I tried this, a straw that I make hummingbird fountains out of. You've seen all the fountains. Well, now I've got my mic on a straw. But anyways, the reason I'm coming here is if you're living in an area that isn't freezing yet, and your mint isn't dying from the cold, what it will do is it will die all the way back almost to the roots if you're in a really cold area, and then come spring, when the weather starts to warm, it grows back. Mine will stay dormant, and some of it will die back, but there'll always be something I can go find and pick if I want. I won't have the abundance I usually have. But if you're dealing in the same situation as me and you may not have known it, this is an easy fix. If I wanted to fix this, all I would have to do is drape tulle over it. You know, the fabric I use all over the garden, my favorite thing. By putting tulle on top, they can't get to it. They'd come over here, they'd land on it, they'd look at it. They're not going to chew it up. They're not going to pull it off. They don't care, and they leave. Now, I don't care. Let them eat their hearts out. This is fine. If I really wanted some orange mint, I could cover this one, or I could do some cuttings right now. And there's a certain time of the year you want to propagate, and propagating is usually done in the spring through summer and fall. As the weather gets colder, I've found that a lot of things don't propagate as well if you're leaving it outside. But if you bring it in, maybe on a windowsill, but not direct sunlight, keep it a little bit warm, you can propagate it inside. And you could take a lot of this right now and do it inside. But if you've got mint in an area that you're growing where you're not that cold yet, 40s isn't that cold for mint, go back and look around, because these white crowns are not just here in Southern California. They're everywhere. And when they come back from wherever they go, probably up into the mountains, when they come back, because apparently they like a lot of greens, they're going to start eating whatever's green in your garden. If you're not growing a lot, because things are starting to, go back for the winter, because things are not going to grow that well now, they're going to find mint, and they're going to eat your mint. You're going to sit back and go, oh, look, my mint is all dying back. No, it's not. If you look at it, you'll see that the stems are nice and green, but the leaves have just disappeared, and that's because they're eating it. So what I'm doing here is strictly talking today about mint being eaten by not insects, though it can happen, or rodents, that can happen too, but birds. And a lot of times you don't see them, because I didn't see them. I'd step out the door and they'd be gone. I'd come back out later and the mint looks not so good. They were actually eating when I wasn't around. And in the meantime, I had no idea until I went ahead and put a camera on here to find out what was eating this, that I had to go back to the same footage and realize, wait a minute, some of them are eating the leaves, and some of them are sitting here and in here and eating the dickens out of my beautiful orange mint. That was beautiful just a matter of weeks ago. And then now that they've come back by the hundreds, and we feed them seed too, and we enjoy all our birds, this is what they've decided they like in the garden, and so they're eating my orange mint. Are they going to eat my chocolate mint? It's right here, right next to me. They haven't touched it. They forage all over the ground here. There's something in the orange mint that they like better right now than the chocolate. Will their taste change? Sure. Birds are just like people. Their taste can change. They can decide, oh, maybe we do like chocolate mint. I love my chocolate mint. It works fantastic in coffee. I love my peppermint. I'm not real big on the other mints that much. That's why I don't have pineapple or strawberries. Spearmint's okay. It's nice for a refreshing drink. Gary likes it in water. But this is not bad either. But I use this, like I said, for other things. So I wanted you to know this in case you're in an area that the white crowns came back. Because a lot of birds have come back and they winter here because they'll get food and water. And maybe that's happening to you. And if it is, you can save your mint. You can move it, you can cover it with tulle or do what you want, but you can save it or cover part. And if you don't care and you go through this all the time and you didn't realize it, but you want the birds to be happy, go ahead and leave it alone like I'm going to do. Let them go ahead and eat it. I could cover part of it so it will grow back in a couple weeks, and then they can come in and then they can forage on the part that they didn't eat yet, and I could change it back and forth. There's a lot of things I can do. But I wanted to kind of it sparked my interest, and I thought it might spark some of your interest, that these wild birds are eating mint, not wild mint, orange mint. And in the meantime, they may try the other ones too. So far, they haven't. But I'm going to keep an eye out, because I don't want them eating my chocolate mint. I enjoy that in my coffee in the morning, and sometimes just simply in water.
No sugar or anything. It tastes so good. We'll get more into mint because there's a lot of fallacies out there of how to grow it. Ask your questions on what you want to know about mint, and then I can come back and talk actually more about mint itself. But today I wanted to tell you that if your mint is suddenly disappearing now, disappearing since last month, it may be the birds are eating your mint instead of you eating your mint, and you thought it was something else.
Now, this mint is called potato mint, and this will belong to me. I'm not going to let the birds, the squirrels, or the rabbits eat it, so I made a tulle top using a tote lid. I've got videos on that. So if you do need to protect some of your plants, be sure to get some tulle, and if you can't find it cheap, I do have it in the description. Just hit more and more again and go check it out. It's on eBay. You can't find it any cheaper than that. 54 inches wide, 40 yards long. You'll be using tulle for years. So with that, have a wonderful day. And don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye.